Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, Blue Sirens. And today I want to talk about something that we probably don't talk about enough. And it may not happen for a lot of people, but it just happened to me. And that's when you release a song that you don't really like or you just don't think it's ready to be released, but you do it anyway. And I recently did this with my song Rain Thoughts. Now, did I like the song? Yeah, I thought everything was actually pretty good with the song. The only thing that I didn't really like with the song is that the pianos at time kind of sound a little harsh. And granted, this song, I didn't get as much feedback from other producers that I normally do before I release a song. And it kind of showed for me when it came to how I was mixing the song. When it comes to the instruments that were being used and the length and the intro and the instrumentation of it, I thought the song was pretty good. I was down to release it. I liked the melodies, I liked the beat, I liked everything. It's just from time to time on certain notes, I could tell these melodies, these piano parts, they sound a little harsh. And for me, it really bothered me, and I tried. I tried re-EQing, I tried doing some other instruments to see if it would fit. I tried adjusting the velocity, and I felt I had fixed it enough to where I felt comfortable releasing it. But again, after I submitted it for distribution and listened back to it, I was like, I don't know. But I thought maybe not everyone else hears this, because a lot of the people that I sent it to, or the few that I did, never really called me out on those piano melodies sounding kind of harsh. So I thought, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Maybe it's just something that I'm hearing and it just bothers me. Well, it turns out it was actually one of my best released songs according to Submit Hub. So if you don't know, or if you don't use Submit Hub, you can submit songs to playlist curators, and they'll either approve it and share it on their playlist or their blog or whatever, or they'll decline it and give you some feedback. Now, there's normally like a small cost for it, but it's often worth it if you get approved. The feedback, it varies. So when I started to see that this song was getting approved by lots of playlists, in fact, it got my highest playlist approval rating, which was 77% of curators I submitted this to approved it. So it was like 30 out of 39, something like that, approved it. I was like, whoa, that's crazy, because I didn't really like the song because of those harsh melodies, and I almost didn't release it because of that. So I was curious, well, out of the 7 or 9 curators that said, we don't want to share this, why did they not want to release it? And for the most part, some of them just said, this is not the style for my playlist, or the intro felt a little bit too long, or I just couldn't connect with some of the melodies, which is fine, really subjective, but none of that really kind of helps me make a better song. But there was one curator, I'll show their feedback right here, there was one curator who did call out the harsh melodies. And I've got to say, thank you to that curator, because you confirmed that, those need a little bit of work. And that's a good lesson for me to take going forward when it comes to mixing and picking different instruments and trying to make sure I can learn how to get rid of those harsh melodies. So, what about the other 30 people or so that approved it? Well, I've got some of their responses that are going to show up here on the side, and you'll notice most of them kind of just enjoyed the song overall. They didn't really describe anything about the harshness of the melodies. One of them said it took them on a good journey. Some of them thought it really created a different space for them to focus on their thoughts, which was the intention behind writing Rain Thoughts. The whole idea behind this song is that if you need a moment to kind of just look out the window, kind of like when it's raining, and you can kind of just lose yourself in your thoughts, daydream a little bit. You don't get that opportunity very often, especially if you live where I live, which is in Las Vegas. It doesn't rain hardly at all. So you can't really look out the window and just lose yourself in thought and contemplate what I want to do next, what's currently going on in my life, or, just slip into some imaginary world that you have. You can't really do that often here. So I thought, let me write this song so people can do that. But these curators connected with it, and I was so surprised that they did. But did I blow the idea that these harsh melodies are going to ruin the song out of proportion? Totally. I definitely did, because out of the 7 or 9 curators that didn't approve the song, only one of them said, hey, we got a problem with this. All the others just said, it doesn't really fit our playlist, or I can't connect with it for some reason. Very subjective. Only one person had concrete reasons for objecting it around the melodies. I sent this song to about 40 people, and only one person called it out. I think that's a pretty good win. I also think this is a good sign and a good reminder for everyone that's sitting on music and they have something that they just think, this one thing ruins the song. It might ruin the song for you, but for everybody else, they may not even know that that's an aspect of the song that you have a problem with. So I would say if you're sitting on music, definitely send it out to people, get some feedback before you release it, people that you trust and value their opinion. But they may just say, actually, I don't hear the same thing that you hear. And then you can release it and see what happens, because you never know. We don't know how a song is going to do. The songs that I like the least that I've released, some of them have ended up on Spotify editorials. And some of them, I just said, I don't want to release those until one of my friends said, actually, that's a really good song. You should release it. That's a big takeaway, I would say. If you release a song and you don't think it's going to do well, you never know. We don't know. And ultimately, I keep going back to what Rick Rubin says in The Creative Act. We make music, we make art for us as the artist first, and for the audience second. So if you like the music, then release it. If you don't like it, there's a good reason why you don't, but just because those reasons are yours doesn't mean they're going to be other people's. And I think that's an important takeaway. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean someone else will. And we can take that chance. It's tough sometimes to say, I'm going to stand by a release that you don't really like. So I get it if we don't do it that often. But if there's just one thing, like I said, there was only one thing with the song that got me hung up on it, and that was the harshness in the melodies at times. There's like 2 notes, maybe 3 throughout the song that I'm like, I don't think it's really connecting. I don't think so. But what do you guys think? Take a listen to Rain Thoughts below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And let me know if you thought, maybe was I too harsh on myself? Did everything else kind of connect? Did it land well? And I've got a new song coming out this Friday called Solitude. Feel free to pre-save it through the link below. And then when it comes out, listen to it on YouTube and give me your thoughts on it. Do you think it has more work to be done on it? Or do you think it's a great as a standalone song? Let me know, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.